Okay, so today we're going to talk about something that sounds almost ridiculously simple, but is actually, well, it's a really profound philosophical practice. And it's this: make just one room in your home as beautiful as you possibly can. Now, this isn't about chasing interior design trends. Not at all. It's about building a real relationship with beauty itself, and maybe, just maybe, inviting something transcendent back into your life. So let's get into it. So let's just start by looking at this. The idea here is so powerful. A real piece of art isn't just something pretty to hang on the wall. It's a portal. It's a window that lets you see beyond the mundane day-to-day reality we all live in. And as we're about to see, we need that window a lot more than we probably think. All right, now here's a fantastic paradox for you. The author, who's famous for telling people to clean their rooms, admits that his own office was an absolute disaster for 3 whole years. So, what gives? Is that just hypocrisy? Or is there something much deeper going on here? Turns out, the mess had nothing to do with being lazy. It was the physical result of being completely overwhelmed by life. I mean, look at this list: political storms, a career just exploding, nonstop travel, battling illnesses. It was all just piling up. The chaos of his life literally spilled out and became the chaos of his room. And I think a lot of us can relate to that feeling of just being buried under it all. And this is the crucial turning point. He realized the problem wasn't just about tidying up. Look, anyone can organize papers into neat little piles. The real challenge, the much harder and way more rewarding challenge, was to transform that chaos, not just into order, but into actual beauty. And this quote just brilliantly explains why that's so important. When you create beauty, even in one tiny corner of your life, it's like you're learning a new language. It's a way to start a conversation with something essential, something we tend to lose track of as we get older. You're sending out an invitation to reconnect with the wonder of the world. Which brings us to the core problem, really. What exactly is it that we've lost? Well, as adults, the way we see the world fundamentally changes. We become kind of blind to the very things that once filled us with complete awe. Just think about it for a second. The author remembers knowing every single crack in the pavement on his childhood street. But as an adult, after living on a new street for twice as long, he barely even sees the houses he walks past every day. They're not real houses anymore. They're just generic house icons, you know? For a kid, a walk is all about discovering a weird bug or a cool-looking flower. For us, it's all about getting from point A to point B. We trade wonder for efficiency. It's a pretty stark trade-off when you think about it. The great poet William Wordsworth just perfectly captured this feeling of loss. It's a lament, really. He's asking, where did that visionary gleam go? That's exactly what we're talking about. And the big question is, how do we get it back? Well, the answer, according to our source, is art. And not art as just, decoration or some kind of status symbol. Art as the essential tool that can reverse our blindness, the bridge that can take us back to that world of wonder. This definition of an artist is so important. An artist isn't just someone who makes pretty things. No, in this view, they're pioneers. They're the ones who go out to the frontier, into the chaos of what we don't understand yet, and they wrestle with it, and they bring something back for the rest of us. They are society's original civilizing agents. And here's how that process breaks down. It's a lot like what happens in cities, right? Artists, often because they can't afford anywhere else, move into these neglected, chaotic neighborhoods. They open studios, they create, they civilize the space, they make it the cutting edge. And then, what happens? The coffee shops follow, then the gentrifiers, then the developers. The artists are the ones who transform the chaos into order, making it livable for everyone else. And here is the crucial takeaway from all this. We have to stop thinking of art as optional. It's not the dessert you get after you've eaten your vegetables. It's a fundamental nutrient for the human soul. You know the saying, man shall not live by bread alone? Well, we live by beauty, by stories, by art. Because without it, life is just, well, it's too dismal, it's too tragic. But this brings up a really tough question. If beauty and art are so vital for a good life, why do we so often resist them? And why are we sometimes even afraid of the very people who create that beauty for us? I mean, seriously, why doesn't every office building look like a cathedral? Why don't we all paint our homes in 36 different colors? Well, it turns out that standing out, even if it's by creating something beautiful, is actually a very dangerous thing to do. Check out this story.
The author came up with this cheap, brilliant plan to make his hideous, fluorescent-lit university office beautiful. He was so excited. But when he told an administrator about it, her response wasn't joy. It was a flat, "You cannot do that." And her reason? If you do it, everyone else will want to do it. It's just this absurd but incredibly powerful example of the resentment and fear that individuality can stir up.
And this little story from the world of biology is a stunning metaphor for that very fear. Wild beasts survive by blending in. They're almost impossible to tell apart in herd. So when some biologists wanted to track one, they put a red spot on its side. And what happened? The lions, who can't really hunt a confusing blur but easily target an individual, took it down almost immediately. The moment it stood out, it became prey. Human societies have this exact same instinct. Whether it's the puppy that grows too high or the nail that sticks up, the lesson is clear. Drawing attention to yourself is risky. The lions are always out there. And sometimes, the lions are the bureaucrats, or our coworkers, or even our neighbors, who resent anyone trying to rise above the mundane. So we know it's important, we know what we've lost, and we know it can be dangerous. So what do we do with all this? Well, we bring it all back home, to one single, concrete, manageable, and incredibly powerful act. And for the author, this is not just a theory. His own tiny 12 by 12 foot living room became a shrine to beauty. It was packed with dozens of paintings, all different styles and eras. His entire house was painted in 36 different colors, and the whole palette was pulled from a single painting he loved. He literally transformed a small, ordinary space into an entire world. And that, right there, is the gift that artists give to all of us. You know, when the Impressionists first showed their paintings, people literally laughed them out of the room. It was too weird, too radical, but they kept at it, and they taught all of us to see the beauty of light in a completely new way. And now, their vision is so much a part of our culture, we see it as totally traditional. They actually changed our eyes. Ultimately, engaging with art and taking the time to create beauty is an attempt to do exactly what this quote suggests, to become like little children again. It's an effort to get back that pristine, wondrous way of seeing the world, what you might call the kingdom of heaven, that we traded away for the efficiency and cynicism of being an adult. And that brings us right back to this central thesis, the final call to action. It is a simple instruction, but it has profound implications. Don't try to fix the world. Don't even try to fix your whole house. Just start with one room, your room, and make it as beautiful as you possibly can. And so that leaves us with one final question. A question for you. It could be a corner of your desk, it could be a bookshelf, it could be the entire living room. The challenge is now yours. What will you make beautiful first?